Hello YouTube, D-Decken here, and out of the blue and into a brand new Pick a Gift campaign has started in Duel Links. This event is very simple. Every day when you log in, you get to pick between one of three items. You keep one of them, the other two are discarded, you don't get them, you never get them. It's very simple. It's pretty much a glorified survey, in other words. Now, normally there's a rhyme or reason for having one of these, like celebrating the New Year's, or celebrating the beginning of the spring season, which, yes, was a thing. That was the reason or excuse for the last Pick a Gift campaign. However, as I said before, the term out of the blue very much applies here. So, for the sake of naming conventions, I'm personally going to be calling this video the April Blue, May New, Pick a Gift campaign 2018 edition. I don't know. If you have a better name, let me know in the comments, because this video is basically me just giving my opinions on this event. If you agree or disagree with anything I say, just let me know in the comments. Now, I've done a video for this for the last 3 events, which has been all of them, which marked this the 4th Pick a Gift campaign we've had in Duel Links so far. I find this fun, plus I get to reference the previous events, so, like I said, it's just something fun for me to do. Now, just like the last event, there is once again 10 days worth of rewards, which I'm not disagreeing with. That's awesome. More rewards are more rewards. However, there is a major change for this event, and that has to do with the card days. And as much as I want to talk about that, that has to wait a sec, because I need to first bring up days 1, 3, 5, and 7, which, just like the last 2 Pick a Gift events, they are the exact same things for the last 2, which I don't really want to repeat my opinions on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link my last Pick a Gift video in the description, which linked the one before that. So if you want to hear my full opinion on that, the links to those 2 videos are there. But Reader's Digest, I don't really agree with the number of gems versus gold they have here. Like, one gem equals 100 gold. I don't agree with that. I find gems much more valuable. But there is something I do need to bring up about these days, and that has to be first with the day 1's 2,000 gate keys. Now, because the card shop has updated, the 2,000 gate keys is also considered to be 200 color keys, because you can convert 10 gate keys into 1 color key, which is something to consider the next time around this event comes. Something to consider the next time this event comes around. But you probably have already missed out on that because you probably watching this video after day 1, which is perfectly fine. Another thing to consider is the dual orbs. Now, I've personally maxed out on dual orbs plenty of times, which, when that happens, they get sent to your inbox, they clog up your inbox, it's very annoying. However, for people who don't have that many dual orbs, this is a great because of the Battle City Showdown event currently going on, it's a good chance for you to farm some standard duelists to get some dice to use in the event. But that's going to be about 4 or 5 days out, so not sure if you might need dual orbs at that point, or I don't know. It is something to consider, though. But personally, because of the event currently going on, that would have been something better to have as a day 1 option, like to really just change things up, like 60 dual orbs day 1. But again, I don't need dual orbs. Someone might, I don't. But that's just my opinion. Now then, on to the card days 2, 4, 6, and 8, because there are 2 new items. There are 2 items that are new for these days. And no, I'm not talking about rare tickets. Rare tickets are actually something that happened in the first 2 Pick a Gift campaigns, but not in the third one. No. I'm talking about the rare jewels and the gems. Now, this is a first for those, which those are both really great items. And having that on card days actually makes it a tough decision between the 2 items. There's a lot of risk and reward now. A lot of risk and reward now available on those days that there weren't before, and that's really what a Pick a Gift campaign really should be. It should actually make you struggle a little bit of which 2 cards you find more valuable than the other. Like, what will you go with now as versus to what you're losing? And it's going to very much divide people's opinions on that, and I'm very excited to hear. I'm kind of very curious to see what people might want to pick for that. But starting with day by day, starting with day 2, 200 rare jewels or double tack. Now, Double Tack is a card that was featured in the last Pick a Gift campaign, and it's fairly decent for what it does. You discard a monster with a higher level to target a monster with a lower level in your field, and that lower level monster gets to attack twice. The example I brought up in the last video was combining it with Saphira. You discard Dynakey or Venue Saphira attacks twice, and if you happen to go to the end phase, you send a light from your hand to the graveyard to proc Saphira, which you can either re-add that Dynasty or Venue, or you can do one of the other two effects. That's the first thing I thought of. The second thing I thought of, well, second thing I think of now is probably Red Eyes, or Red Eyes or Blue Eyes. Like, you get into the graveyard, you activate Birthright or Red Eyes Spirit, you bring it back, you do more damage. That is an option. Now, it's also really good for, like, random OTK potential, but I think it's a little too gimmicky, personally. However, because this card is recurring from the last event, which you either could have chosen not to get this card the last event, or you could have chosen to get both options for the last event. So the number of copies you would normally have for this card is anywhere between 0 to 2. However, if you don't have this card, it's a good chance to get it now. But if you do have this card, I'm not sure the value of having a playset of it. Personally, as a collector, I like having one of every card. But once again, I'm not sure the value of having a playset of this card. It's an okay card, I find it a little too gimmicky. That said, moving on to day 4, Aurora Wing. Now, even though Aurora Wing versus 100 gems, I mean. Now, even though Aurora Wing is very interesting, it is a card that has come up in other events before. One of which was a card flipper event. And that is a very good example for what I'm talking about when it comes to risk versus reward. What I mean is, there is an option for any of these cards to come up again. Just like Double Attack came up in the previous event, this card has come up in a previous event as well, and now it's available now. If you're new to the game or you weren't able to get it in the before events, now's a good opportunity to get it. But if you already have it like I do, if you want more copies of it, now's your chance, but if you don't want another copy, you can also get gems. Now, normally the reason for getting an extra copy like it would be normally to get super rare jewels. However, in this scenario, they also provide 2 super rare jewels instead of the one you would normally get for converting it. So, there's that. But in this case, gems I find a little bit more valuable. I don't want to talk about this, but I think 25 gems should equal 1 super rare, but I'm finding super rares to be a lot more common now with at a higher level in the dual world, but I don't want to talk about that. But moving on to day 6. Day 6 is the interesting one. It's 200 rares versus a new monster, Bitlon. Now, Bitlon is a level 6 water reptile with attack and defense equal to a base monarch. So, it also does, This monster is a 2400 attack point piercing that, regardless of how you bring it out, because it's level 6 and Legendary Ocean would bring it down to 5, you always will need 1 tribute to bring it out, but it does piercing. It's a good card by itself. If you splash into a random deck, again, it's a piercing monster. It's pretty good. The big question, however, though, is whether or not this card will come back up. Because, like I said, it is still a good card, and it's great to have now, but you do have the option of 200 rare jewels, which, if you're unfamiliar with what rare jewels are good for, rare jewels are really good for with getting glossy or prismatic cards from the card shop, which, once again, makes this a very tough decision. I'm not bringing up the rare ticket because there are other options to getting rare tickets, and the rare ticket this time around is very much a card from the card shop, ironically. So there's that as an option. It's very interesting. And then on to day 8. Day 8 is also another tough decision. It's 100 gems or Lion Alligator. Now, 100 gems are 100 gems, and that's always very good. Now, Lion Alligator is also a new card. Basically what it does is, so long as you have another reptile, it gives all reptiles, including itself, piercing, which, even though Bitlon is also a reptile, and it also works with Sea Salt Attack, I forgot to mention that, but even though it's also a reptile, it already has piercing, so you're not really meant to use it with that. This card, however, is really great when you combine it with aliens, though, because aliens also with alien counters, they also decrease the defense points of the monster, which makes it a little bit more lethal when doing piercing damage. But once again, if you choose not to pick this card and choose to hold off on it, you can get the 100 gems now, but when this card comes up again is a big question. Now, yes, it's most likely going to come up with the next Pick a Gift campaign. However, even though the last Pick a Gift campaign was a little over a month ago, the next Pick a Gift campaign can easily be like 3 months out for who knows. Or it could even show up at another event. There have been many situations where cards have shown up in the next... cards exclusive to some events have shown up in the next event. Case in point, anti-magic arrows from Arkana in the Merrick event is now an option in the Battle City Showdown event, which I personally find stupid because I farmed a lot for that. But, any case, last but not least, Day 9 and Day 10. Day 9 is pretty much choice from what you have least of. If you don't have a lot of gold, this is a good chance to get a lot of gold. If you don't have like a lot of spell stones or trap stones, you pick the one you have the least of. And day 10 is the toughest option of them all. Like seriously, last time I went with left, but I might choose right. Although center is very tempting. But in any case, what do you think? Do you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video? Let me know in the comments, and well, have a good day.